April 2024 is huge, where so much could change so quickly for so many of us. We understand ourselves, our vulnerability, our healing. We understand what breakthroughs are for us, how we're going to change our lives in real ways. But these, not one, but two huge moments of the year happening in the same month. But then they're not just the two biggest moments of the year. They are representative of two of the hugest moments of the decade. On the 8th of April, we have a total solar eclipse in the sign of Aries. Now that in and of itself would be significant, but this eclipse is different. And that is because it is to the degree, to the minute, hand in hand with Chiron, the symbol of the wounded healer. This is all about vulnerabilities, feeling wide open, feeling exposed, feeling as if that stuff that you feel has never healed and you've been trying to heal it. Well, all of it stirs up for us now. But there's something else that makes this eclipse special, and that is the fact that it is essentially unaspected, meaning it's not making any really significant traditional alignments with big power players in the sky. And what that suggests is we don't necessarily have a way to resolve what we're feeling. These feelings of vulnerability, it's like we just have to sit in them. We have to be in them, whether we like it or not. The only way out is through. And that inner work, that emotional work that leads to spiritual evolution, that is work that more and more of us are going to realize that we must do, if only to find a sense of peace within ourselves. But in sitting with ourselves and our wounds, we just might be able to transcend them and to find a way to use them to make the lives of so many other people better. But in order to even get to that place, we have to start with ourselves. And that's what this eclipse is saying. Sit with you, be with you, let it all come to the surface. Even if it's hard, knowing that in the fullness of time, you will make sense of it. Now, think about what happens during an eclipse, especially a total solar eclipse. It's like there's light that fills the world, and then it goes away, and it's dark. And then once again, minutes later, there is a brand new light. It is a brand new perspective. And it is similarly that. What was clear to us before, in an instant, we will come to see it very differently. And that thing we will come to see differently is our own power and how our wounds are affecting our ability to tap into our power. This isn't about force and just showing and wearing and being a brute. This is about owning a deeper sense of our ability to take some action to move our life in the directions we want it to go. Now, what is holding us back from that? A lot of times it is wounds that are internal. And sometimes, yes, there's stuff that needs to heal in the world, but at least with this energy, it's saying, start with you, focus on you. That's where the promise is. That's where the potential and the massively important healing is now. I do speak about this eclipse at length for your sign on my YouTube channel, NadiyaShah.com, as part of the monthly horoscopes for April, and also at greater length in the Superstar space, weekly horoscopes at NadiyaShahSuperstars.com. This eclipse energy is going to speak to all of us in at least one area of life. Depending on your rising sign, your sun sign, and your moon sign, you want to take all three into consideration and synthesize the information. In some way, the energy is going to end up being, more holistically speaking, uniquely for you. Aries, identity. Who you are. You are going to feel wide open and very vulnerable, but you are being redefined in the best possible sense as a better, more conscious version of you. Taurus, if ever there was energy that said what you didn't know in an instant becomes undeniably clear. What you didn't want to admit to yourself, in a second, you have to acknowledge as part of some deeper awakening set to take place for you now. Make sure you're getting a lot of rest and be super gentle with yourself now. Gemini, friendships, group alliances will have you feeling open and raw and uncertain, but the answer is ultimately found in what type of friend, what type of professional group Participant are you. What's working for you and what isn't. That's where your answers lie and your healing lie as well. Cancer, career, life purpose, and your understanding of a higher, more loving vision for your life. If you're on the career path, this is where you get really honest about why you've chosen the path you are. And you've got to be real with yourself about whether you now feel what you're going for is superficial. However, if you're not on the career path, this is a powerful realignment with life purpose. The more you've gone off that, the more dramatically and yes, vulnerably, you'll be brought back. Leo, long distance travel, immigration, citizenship, higher learning, legal matters, and the beliefs that guide your life. A whole new spiritual tradition or philosophical perspective could open up for you, and it has you feeling raw and exposed. There's going to be a lot of tears as part of that, but this is the kind of energy where very quickly you're starting brand new pathways, realizing what legal fights are worth it or not, realizing your place in the world might be very different than you thought before. And it is ultimately your relationship with a higher understanding that helps you to navigate this time. Virgo, profound change, profound truth. A regeneration, a rebirth is set to take place for many Virgos out there. And this is also energy of wealth, whether that's accessing resources like grants and loans or benefits you qualify for, or whether it is a much more metaphorical, larger sense of the wealth in your life. It is being redefined in an instant. When we have strong financial energy like this, it means the money you need is there. You're navigating hard. When we have strong financial energies like this, it means the money you need is there. You're navigating spiritual lessons as part of aligning with it. Libra, partnership, love relationships especially are going to speak very powerfully to the Libras out there. Either this is a need to really heal an understanding of where you are in partnership and where you are in love and what is working for you and what isn't. And it is hard sometimes to be honest about the role you've played in the past, but also where now perhaps your understanding of love is taking you in brand new directions you did not anticipate before. Now, that could be in the context of a particular alliance or someone brand new. Scorpio, your daily life, your clients, customers, coworkers, someone could come in brand new, stir a lot within you, and may or may not hang around, but becomes part of your understanding of the value and the power of how you move through your day. Health might also come into focus now. It's like finally needing to address and begin again so that you can experience profound healing now. Sagittarius, creative fulfillment, and the children in your life are covered here. You might be giving a lot of your energy to a brand new creative project or wanting to be present with a child in some way. But most Sagittarius are going to experience this in the context of love, romance, flirtation. This is where a flirtation could have you feeling very vulnerable, very exposed, but that shows you something of where your healing is now. It is a flirtation now that changes you. It leaves an impact, but ultimately prepares you for greater love than you've known before. Capricorn, home and your past and your living situation, your family of origin, your relationship with those people, all of that is going to stir. Now, if you know there are certain people in your life who push your buttons, particularly family members, you may need to be conscious of practicing self-care. But for all that, this is a chance to see how your living situation is meant to be a healing space. And if you have that or not, you're getting honest. This is also reconfiguring your relationship with your past, finally healing yourself of it. Aquarius, siblings, cousins, neighbors are covered here. Whether it is a brand new beginning in those relationships, you feeling vulnerable about where you've arrived in those relationships, or them making choices that have you feeling like you're second guessing what you can do, if anything, and maybe you can't do anything. But this is also about communication and conversation and realizing the power of words. Even if you're only expressing it to yourself in writing, the power of sharing with others is what truly serves as a force of healing in your life now. Pisces, money you earn, money you spend, self-love and self-esteem. If it is that you make your money as a healer, you're going to have new ideas and experience a sense of fresh starts. But if that isn't the case, and especially if it is that your work has you feeling like wide open, vulnerable, feeling way too much, this is where you finally have to address it. For all that, it's also a powerful time to consider your relationship with yourself and to root yourself in healthy self-love, redefining it moving forward from here.